सेशन की हम शुरुआत करेंगे हिमांशु कंसल जी से. This will be followed by a presentation by Dr. Rajiv Shukla, and the third one will come from Navy Ramawar. और तो ये तीन हमारे presentations आज के lines up हैं. It is my pleasure to introduce Himanshu Kansal to all of you. Not only is Himanshu Kansal a chartered accountant, not only is he that, he is responsible for the conceptualization of Investrade Forum. So he, along with Dr. Rajiv Shukla, these are the two guys whom we call as central pillars of Investrade Forum. तो मेरा ये मानना है कि पहले तो एक जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं हिमांशु जी के लिए और राजीव जी के लिए. हो गई तालियां. और हिमांशु के साथ ये है कि बीइंग अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट फंडामेंटल वाली साइड इनकी हमेशा बहुत स्ट्रांग थी. जो सिस्टम है वो बहुत रॉबस्ट है. सो लेट मी नाउ नॉट टेक मच टाइम. ही इज talking to you on the subject he is very passionate about, which is funda, techno funda. So over to you, Himanshu. Please come.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. I have had the privilege of speaking in the earlier two conferences. In both the presentations, in the first conference and in the second conference, in both of them, towards the end of my presentation, we had a slide in which I had mentioned the books which I had read to prepare those presentations, which I called as bibliography. This time, I got a free hand and I haven't read any of the books. Whatever I will talk to you about is going to be what exactly I do. So no books. It's more out of experience and less out of theory. All that we are going to talk about. I'll come directly to the subject. This is an extremely important debate that takes place. The cartoon that depicts, that shows any ordinary household, spouses fighting on a trivial subject. Which is more important? Let's begin the debate. Let me ask you, what is more important? What is more important? Technical has the information about fundamentals, so technicals are more important. That is what Mehul Bhai says. Yes.
What I think, in technical you need only charts. Fundamentals you need everything, right from the books of accounts to the boardroom news, to the mergers and acquisitions that are happening. So a layman would not get all the boardroom news that you need for fundamental analysis. So it looks like a technical debate.
Fundamentals can be manipulated, but technicals cannot be manipulated. The tree house में क्या हुआ यार? सत्यम में क्या हुआ? There are a lot of things. I just want to initiate the debate. And the date में भी सेल सिग्नल पे 2008 जनवरी में भी बहुत पहले से आ गया था.
Sir, we have to have a judicious combination of both.
We have to have a judicious combination of both. So Anand ji has chosen a very nice middle way.
It depends upon what are you playing for.
It depends upon what are you playing for. Okay, very good answer. It depends on what are you playing for. And we are all playing for money. We are playing for money. So we'll look at that. How do we make money? By only technicals, by only fundamentals, or by a combo of both? Yes. Any other answers?
But fundas are for long-term investments.
Fundas are for long-term investments. Technicals are for shorter terms.
I would say shorter terms long. Timing does.
कभी अगर मौका मिले हीरो होंडा का चार्ट देखिए, मंथली चार्ट देखिए, लोअर लो ही नहीं मिलेगा आपको मंथ बेसिस पर 1990 से.
Both can be used individually as well as in combination.
Both can be used individually as also in a combination. Okay, so
can we say we have a lot of stocks in our hand, right? Near about 500. So out of that, because of fundamental, we can decide on which we have to do a technicals.
Okay, so he's talking about ordering, where we first identify the stocks.
Then there are fundamentals and then after.
So we come out with a list, what is to be bought, and then we use technicals for finding out when to buy. Okay? Yes, that is one combination, but you haven't answered. What is more important?
Technical.
Technicals, of course, technicals, because this is an advanced technical traders conference. If I would have been speaking to some of the FIIs, then probably they would be saying technicals is bullshit and only fundamentals work in the long run. Yes? Okay. Now, of course, I've had all the different inputs from you. I would go more with what Raju sir says. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Which is more important. As far as my process is right and I'm making money because of that over a longer period of time. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Most of the time he has a hit ratio of what? 30%. He has a win ratio of 30%. 30% win ratio के बाद भी he is the most prolific trader that we have in our entire group. That means more often he is incorrect. More often.
Perfect involvement is
But when he is right, then he is extremely aggressive and he trails it like anything. So he makes it up. And that is how it is. Anybody who knows about the payoff ratio, he knows. Multiply the probability by your risk and reward, and then you finally get your net edge. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say, let's not get into that debate itself. It is up to you. If you feel fundamentals are more important, fine. But then make money. If you feel technicals are more important, absolutely okay. But make money in the long run. That is the basic idea. So, the next is the contrast. The figures are excellent. What at this point of time? No other country. There is no other country on this globe which is growing at the speed at which we are growing. But the market has corrected almost 20%. From 9,100, we are almost at what? As a technical trader, we need to understand there will be a lot of contrast in life. It has to be. Everything would not come together. At times it comes. When it comes, you get a signal. When it doesn't, then you have to be patient and look for that signal. So right now, what is happening? Right now, the economy is going up. The tax collections are up. Indirect collections are up by what percent? 57%. The indirect collections are up by 57%. Yet the market is down 20%. So what I'm going to do is, first let us understand the differences. If you want to combine the two, let's first understand the differences. Parameters on which I have tried to write down the differences. Let's see what those differences are. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to describe this slide. You people have a look. Tell me what you don't understand. Perfect. As he said, Rome was not built in a day. Though I prepared this slide in 10 minutes, it actually has taken me a lifetime learning to reach to this position. Very quickly, I'll just delve on two of them. All the others you will understand. The effort in fundamental analysis is to identify value, which in our colloquial language would be एक रुपए का माल 8 आने. We are trying to find value as far as fundamental analysis is concerned. But under technical analysis, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. What matters is the direction, which in other words is the trend, and what matters is the speed by which it is going up or down. That's it. We are not concerned with the value. Please understand, these are two different things that we are playing for. Second most important point is here, averaging. Opposites, the contrast that I was talking about. If you are a fundamental analyst, have bought TVS Motors at 300. Today the price is 270. Will you buy more or no? If you are a fundamentalist, yes, because something which you identified as a value of 1 rupee, you bought it for 75 paise, it is down even more, so you would buy it. Because you are getting it even cheaper. But let me tell you, if you are a technical analyst and if you bought it at 300, the stop loss should not be, even for a positional trader or intraday trader, should be below 295. As simple as that. You just cannot give it that amount of leeway. So, averaging, since I am talking to you people where we are use this topic of the contrast. By the end of the presentation, I am sure I will confuse you. Yeah. I will confuse you. Because one part of the brain is going to say average. Yes, good. Yes, value. The other part of the brain is going to say no. What are you doing? Okay. So let me tell you, what I do is even more difficult that way. Because I have to, every time, I have a contrast to look at. What are the similarities? That was about the most important trait here for a fundamental analyst is patience. And it is the same for a technical analyst provided the price is moving in your favor. If it is moving in your favor, then you have to be extremely patient. Let the move unfold. Don't cut it down.
But the time frame should be different in patients.
Time frame, of course, would be different. As we had a look here. Time, generally long term, generally short term. Generally, not always. So, the similarity is in terms of patience. Fundamental analysts would always say, conviction is the name of the game. Yes. All the fundamental analysts here, only posting the calls on our group. I rarely post. Isn't conviction very important for a fundamental analyst? कि हाँ मैंने analyze कर लिया, बिल्कुल सही है, numbers बिल्कुल ठीक है, stop नीचे कोई बात नहीं और खरीदेंगे. Yes, that is the conviction. And what is there for the technical analyst? It is flexibility. Stop and reverse. बोलना बहुत आसान है, करने जाओगे ना सर. It has taken him a lot of practice to reach that place. इतना easy नहीं है. Then, orientation. We had 2 sessions yesterday on heavy number crunching. Yes, we had that. Let me tell you, if you want to combine fundamental analysis with technical analysis, be ready for even more number crunching. That is the part that is common. Numbers could be different. You might have to look at annual reports, you might have to look at sales data, you might have to look at ratios, and here numbers would mean something different. It could be the high, the low, the range, and then the combinations and all that. But yes, you will have to work with numbers. Anybody who says, I dislike numbers, then probably even fundamental analysis is not for him or her, and technical analysis is also not for him or her. Third, the most interesting. What is the objective? If this is the objective, then no point in entering into a debate itself. If that is the objective. So what is the objective? The objective is to create wealth, and the objective is to make money. Make money because we are playing for short-term fluctuations. Yes. And create wealth because you are trying to find out multi-values. In our forum, we had a study of multi-values from 2009 to 2014 in 5 years. When the market was essentially flat. Market was flat. The don't remember the price. If it was going at 1 rupee in 2009, it was at 57 in 2014. Is that making money or is that creating wealth? What is it? That is creating wealth, right? But if you put a stop loss of 5 rupees and you get 50, that is 1:3. What is that? That is making money. Does that make technical analysis inferior? Not at all. Because if you finally want to hit a century, you would need sixes, which is like creating wealth, and you would also need ones and the twos and the fours, which would be like from the technical terms. It is a combination of both. I'm sure you would not have heard of a batsman hitting a century only by taking singles. कभी हुआ होगा? Once in a while कोई इतनी सारी सेंचुरीज में से कभी किसी ने एक रिकॉर्ड लग गया होगा कि बस साहब उन्होंने कोई चौका या छक्का मारा नहीं, केवल उन्होंने 102 से सेंचुरी बनाई. Otherwise, most of the time, 95-99% of the times, it would be a combination of stroke play and running between the wickets. It has to be a combination of those two in the long run. So that is as far as the differences and the similarities are concerned. So the approach is, but the goal is same. Please understand. The approach is divergent in contrast to each other, opposite to each other, but the final goal is to make money. Are we clear up till here? Okay. This is the balance sheet of Precautions. Just for example. Okay? So I divide the entire hall into 5 groups. 1, the Indore team. 1, the Mumbai team. The third one, team from Pune. Fourth one, team from Rajkot. And the fifth would be all others put together.
मुंबई टीम वालों को यहाँ पर इधर किया हुआ
Mumbai team वाले इधर भी बैठे.
लेकिन कैप्टन हमारे
Okay? So what I want you to do is to calculate the book value of Hero MotoCorp. Now what is the book value? Book value क्या होता है? अगर आज कंपनी वाइंड अप कर दे, थ्योरेटिकल डेफिनेशन बता रहा हूं, अगर आज कंपनी वाइंड अप कर दे तो जो भी बुक वैल्यू पर शेयर होगी वो हर शेयर होल्डर को मिल जाएगी. बहुत सारे वेरिएशंस हैं. एज आई सेड और एज ही सेड अर्लियर, देयर आर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ कैलकुलेशंस. ये मेरी मर्जी है कि मुझे टॉप लेना है कि बॉटम लेना है कि रेंज लेना है कि फिर उसमें 61 लगाना है कि 38 लगाना है कि 1.618 लगाना है. ये मेरी मर्जी है. But the basic principle is, let's try and calculate the book value. Let's understand. Let's try and understand. Since we have come here, we're talking about a techno-funda combo. Let's try and calculate the book value. So book value, let me tell you. I'll explain it to you. Book value, what is it going to be? For March 15. For March 15, these are figures in crores. Hero MotoCorp balance sheet 6,541 crores. And all the assets 6,543 crores. Right? So assets equal to the liabilities. Book value is simple. Just add these two. Add the equity share capital and the reserves, which gives you the net worth. Net worth divided by the number of shares will give you the book value per share. यही पैसा है. बाकी सब तो ये assets हैं. जिस भी दिन ये कंपनी खत्म होगी, अगर आज खत्म हो जाती है तो ये सारे पैसे आपको मिल जाएंगे पर शेयर. Just divide the net worth by the equity share capital. Equity share capital is how much? 39.94, and it has a face value of, Hero MotoCorp has a face value of 2 rupees. 2 rupees. So anybody who can calculate. All you have to do is add these two. It is already added for you, net worth divided by the number of shares and not the equity capital. Divide by the number of shares. 819? No? Anybody who can give me the right answer? So calculate करना पड़ेगा.
cannot sit.
3.27.
We'll have to calculate. Let's first calculate if this is almost 40 crores. If the equity capital is 40 crores, right? Equity capital is 40 crores, almost 40 crores, and it has a 2 rupees face value. So how many shares do we have?
19 point something.
Almost 20 crores, 19 point something. Okay? And then you add this 6541 divided by that. 320? 327 is the correct answer. कैसे निकाल? गुरबीर जी बताइए.
6.41 divided by your 20. That 40 is the capital. Face value 2 है. 20 रहेगी. तो फिर उसको divide कर दो 6.4.
मैं समझा. इक्विटी कैपिटल कितनी है? 39.94. नॉर्मली क्या फेस वैल्यू होती है? नॉर्मली 10 रुपए होती है. तो इफ द इक्विटी कैपिटल इज 39.94, अगर 10 रुपए फेस वैल्यू होती तो कितने शेयर्स होते? कितने होते? 3.994 होते. अब 10 रुपए फेस वैल्यू को सब डिवाइड कर दिया 2 रुपए में, तो 3.994 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करूं? 5 से. कितना आएगा? ऑलमोस्ट 20 आएगा. ऑलमोस्ट 20 आएगा राउंड ऑफ करके. 6541 6541 divided by 20. That gives me the book value. Now you would have heard of price to book value. ये बात है ना, price to book value. Price क्या चल रहा है?
Market price.
Market price.
Divided by this answer would be what?
क्या है market price? 2500 divided by
Answer would be what?
327. It is going at almost 8 times price to book value. ठीक है? तो आज कम से कम एक चीज तो सीखी हमने कि प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू क्या है. जिन लोगों को नहीं मालूम था उनको ये तो समझ में आया. कैसे यूज करेंगे हम समझेंगे. ठीक है? इसके बाद अब एक और बहुत सारे रेशियो यूज होता है. ईपीएस, अर्निंग पर शेयर. अर्निंग पर शेयर का क्या मतलब होगा? हाँ, तो ठीक है, मैं आपको प्रॉफिट लॉस भी लाया हूं आपके. मैंने वो दोनों वैल्यूज छुपाई हुई है. लेट्स कैलकुलेट फॉर मार्च 2015. Again, 5 different groups. What is the reported net profit? 2385. 2385. That is the net profit divided by number of shares, not the equity share capital. Number of shares. Almost 120. Almost 120. Now, ये क्या हो गया? EPS. फिर सब लोग बोलते हैं कितने PE पे चल रहा है? सब लोग बोलते हैं कितने PE पे चल रहा है? Price divided by EPS, earning per share. तो प्राइस कितना है? Almost 20 के आसपास, 20-21 के आसपास EPS आ गया. अब PE आ गया. अब एक बात समझिए, PE को मैं इंटरप्रेट कैसे करूं? PE को मैं इंटरप्रेट कैसे करूं? मतलब क्या हुआ PE का? कोई 10 के PE पे चल रहा है, कोई 20 के PE पे चल रहा है, तो क्या करूं? 10 वाला अच्छा है कि 20 वाला खराब है?
Lower is good. Lower is good.
If this company keeps earning 120 rupees EPS आ रहा है, अगर आपके पास एक शेयर है तो 120 रुपए आपकी अर्निंग हो गई. उसमें से जितना डिविडेंड देगा वो अलग चीज है, कितना आपके हाथ में आएगा. आपको आपके हक की जो अर्निंग हुई कंपनी की तरफ से, आरोपी में अभी तक आएंगे. आरोपी 120 रुपए हुई, 120 रुपीज हुई आपकी. अगर एक शेयर आपके पास है तो 120 रुपए उसकी टोटल अर्निंग में से आपका है, राइट? और आप कितना रुपए दे रहे हो शेयर को खरीदने के लिए? 2500. अभी 2400 कर देते, इजी उसको कैलकुलेशन के लिए. 2400 रुपए दे रहे हैं आप उसको. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? 20 टाइम्स जा रहा है. अगर कंपनी इतना ही हर साल अगले 20 साल तक कमाती रहेगी तो आपके पैसे आपके पास वापस आएंगे. यही मतलब है. दैट इज द मीनिंग. सो द लेसर द P, better or worse?
बेटर 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 आपको पैसे जल्दी बेटर होगा, जल्दी वापस आएगा.
मैंने आपको बोला था मैं आपको कंफ्यूज करने वाला, मैं आपको कंफ्यूज करके रहूंगा. Whether PE should be high or PE should be less. Okay, that is not part of this presentation. कि कम होना चाहिए कि ज्यादा होना चाहिए, अभी हम कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो हमें प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करना आ गया, हमें ईपीएस कैलकुलेट करना आ गया, हमको पीई कैलकुलेट करना आ गया. एक रेशियो और बचता है जो इंपॉर्टेंट है. There are hundreds of calculations. Of that we are picking four most important which we need to understand. The fourth one is known as return on net worth. Return on net worth. So if you are trading, let me put a question to you. If you are trading, मेहुल भाई के सिस्टम को छोड़ देते हैं, पर वो उनके लिए क्वेश्चन नहीं है. If you are trading, what would be a good rate of return for you? आप ट्रेड कर रहे हो, साल भर का ट्रेड किया आपने 100 रुपए स्टार्टिंग में लगाए थे और आपने खूब उसमें प्लस माइनस किया, साल के एंड में कितना आ जाना चाहिए? 3% above the fixed returns. So let us say if the fixed returns on an average are 8% today, fixed deposit में, so at least 12%. 12%. So that would apply to a company also. A business में से रिटर्न तो उतना निकालना पड़ेगा. तो हमारी नेटवर्थ पर शेयर क्या था? बुक वैल्यू पर शेयर क्या आया था? 327. ये इस साल का आया था. हम एक साल पीछे चलते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि 2014 में जो पैसा लगा होगा उसका फिर हम निकालेंगे ना कितना रिटर्न है. So let's go back and calculate what was it for 2014. What would it be for 2014? For 2015 it was 327 rupees, right? We all understood the calculation. Anybody who can tell me?
140 approximately.
It won't be 140. If it is 325 right now. 280. So it is 280. That means what is the book value per share? If the company would have been wound up, every shareholder holding one share would get 280 rupees. That means 280 is the amount that is put into the business. And for the next year, 2015, what did you earn per share? No, what did you earn per share? 120. In rupees, we had earned 120. So we earned 120 on how much? 280. What is the return? Tell me. 40%. Almost 40%. Almost 40%. 120 upon 280. That's almost 40%. And just look at the data now. This company has been doing this for so many years put together. On 148 book value, what is the EPS? On 148 they are earning 119. On 214 they are earning 106. On 250 they are earning 105. On 280 they are earning almost 119. Consistently, this is a company which is giving you a return on net worth of more than 40%. लगातार 5 साल हम ट्रेडिंग करेंगे, 2 बार रिस्क ऑफ रुइन हो जाता है हम सबका.
The ratio is going down. So on a 280 you are doing 119. On a 148 you manage to 119. So it is a company which is now progressively not able to earn that much on the money deployed.
Yes. I'll answer you towards the end of the presentation. I have the answer to this. Okay? So we understood 4 ratios. Book value, price to book value. EPS, price to earnings, and return on net worth. Okay? Now the question is going to be, sir, अगर इतना सब आप हमसे कैलकुलेट कराओगे नहीं हो पाएगा. इंदौरी लैंग्वेज में इसको बोलते नहीं हो पाएगा. तो मैं आपको शॉर्टर तरीका बता. For that, let's understand the heart of Techno Funda combo. Let's understand the heart. Important ratios I have explained to you, 4 of them. For technical analysis, these 3 ratios are the most important. Your win ratio, your risk reward, and then when you multiply, you get the payoff ratio. Then your entry. Entry according to fundamental analysis is going to be below intrinsic value. हमने वैल्यू की बात कर ली थी कि हमको वैल्यू हमको चेस करना है, वैल्यू चेस करना था. बिलो इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू, बिलो इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू किस तरीके से पता चलेगी? एक तरीका तो ये जो हमने अभी फाइनेंशियल डेटा देखा है, ठीक है. सर का बोलना है कि लेकिन वो डेटा तो जैसे जैसे आगे जा रहा है, प्रोग्रेसिव हो रहा है, वैसे वैसे थोड़ा सा खराब हो रहा है. इसलिए हम फ्यूचर फाइनेंशियल प्रोजेक्शंस भी यूज करेंगे, ठीक है. बट फॉर टेक्निकल एनालिसिस the entry is going to be as per chart, as per chart. ठीक है, 2 प्रकार के चार्ट होते हैं, एक प्राइस चार्ट होता है और एक गैंट चार्ट. जो लोग समझ रहे हैं इस बात को, they can also understand that you can also reach a level of maturity where you don't need a price chart to trade, and it is a huge thing for anybody to happen, for anybody to take a call what he can do. He, while he is traveling, he is not looking at charts, yet he is putting in a successful trade. So, your entry is according to the chart, price action, indicator, oscillator, and including your risk control. These are the criteria for entry. For fundamental, these are the criteria. We move to money and risk management. When you build up a portfolio, what do? To reduce your risk. What you can do is, you can increase your cash component, you can diversify. If you're buying Hero MotoCorp from auto, probably you can buy Dr. Reddy's from pharma, so that 2 of them are not linked, so you have lesser risk because you've diversified. So that is one strategy of doing it. You can have economy-wise, sector-wise, company limits. For the entire portfolio, I will not have more than 5% in auto. I will not have more than 5% in pharma, not more than 5% in software, IT, not more than 5% in some other sector. This way, I will distribute my risk. That is another way of reducing the risk. Big fund managers, what would they do? They would say, okay, 5% to India, 5% to Korea, 5% to China, 10% to Japan. That is our total money that we would expose to Asia. And then they would move to the other parts of the globe. That is how they are reducing their overall risk. हमारे पास for technical analyst risk को रोकने का क्या तरीका है? That is the one and that is the best. उसके अलावा भी कुछ तरीके हैं. We can use equity curve. We can also use position sizing to reduce the risk. Yeah. What is equity curve? Let us say you started with 100 rupees of trading capital. You put in 5 trades and now you have 103 rupees. So what you do is you plot 100 rupees, 103 rupees. If it so happens that you find your profits are dwindling, you stop, take a break. So that way you know what exactly is your performance day on day, cumulative. That way what happens is, you know when to stop. You know when to stop. The exit. Let's talk about the exit now. You know the ratios, you know how to enter, you also know what is the money and the risk management part. How would be the exit? The exit, as per fundamental analysis, is above intrinsic value because the entry was below intrinsic value. Intrinsic value निकालने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. करेक्ट भी होता है, इनकरेक्ट भी होता है, रेशियोज भी यूज होते हैं, दूसरी चीजें भी यूज होती है. अभी हम छोटा सा पार्ट समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. एग्जिट हियर कैन बी ओनली इन 3 ways. इन 3 के अलावा कोई तरीका नहीं है एग्जिट का आपके ट्रेड में से. आपका इनिशियल स्टॉप हिट हो जाता है, आपका ट्रेड स्टॉप हिट हो जाता है, या आपका प्रॉफिट टारगेट आ जाता है. इस 3 के अलावा कोई चौथा तरीका ही नहीं है एग्जिट. या मार्जिन कॉल है. Okay, now the error. The error is in finding out the intrinsic value and taking a call on it. As far as fundamentals is concerned, आपको सब intrinsic value की बात कर रहे हैं पर पता ही नहीं है कि intrinsic value है क्या. उसको going to be the part of big error. Whereas for technical analysis, जो भी रूल आपने बनाए हैं अपने लिए, जिस दिन आपने उस रूल को तोड़ा, उस दिन आपने गलती कर दी. सिस्टम आपको बता देगा. I don't have to tell you. All of us have gone through it. Yes? Okay. So what should I do? Should I first run a fundamental query and then look at the technical charts? Or should I first run the technical query and then look at the fundamental charts? What should I do? First one? Anybody who says second one? Second one? Very good. Does not matter. When I'm trying to combine, of course, see, what I'm speaking here is more as per my style. Okay, somebody else might have a different style of a techno-funda combo. So what I do at times is, I would run fundamental queries on different ratios. I would, let us say, get a list of 15 companies which are performing very well fundamentally on the parameters that I am looking at. From those 50 companies, I would look at the charts and then select a one which I want to trade on. Or I could do it the other way. I have a back-tested successful system. So I run a technical query, I get those stocks. Some of the stocks are such which I haven't heard of. So naam hi nahi suna un companies ka. So then I go back, look at the fundamentals. So these are the two ways of doing it. In the end, if you are able to identify something either first by fundamental and then by technical, or first by technical and then by fundamental, it doesn't matter if it teaches you. Big question. इतनी सब बात कर ली, तो फायदा हुआ क्या? In the last presentation late in the evening, Raju sir had asked, is it worth the effort? Is it worth the effort? So, does a techno-funda combo give you a greater edge? Does it give you a greater edge? ऐसा लगता है बस, ऐसा लगता है, साइकोलॉजिकली अच्छा लगता है, साइकोलॉजिकली अच्छा लगता है. जो मिक्स वेज में हम खाते हैं वो हम अलग अलग भी खाएंगे तो अच्छा लगता है ये ना. जबरदस्ती उसको मिक्स करना है. I'm coming to it, still getting baked. अभी bake हो रहा है. So I'll take an example of my trade. This is a company called SML Isuzu. This vertical line, somewhere around this. I bought this stock somewhere here. Exit का मत पूछना है कि exit का क्या system था. But I bought it somewhere here. Let's try and understand why and how. ठीक है, एक बार हम examples देखेंगे तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि क्यों. So, this is the summarized profit and loss account of this company. I bought that stock on the 6th of July. Just remember this date. 6th of July 2015. Okay? So far for the yearly results. In the yearly results, what I see is that the profit had doubled. Very simplistic assumption, though there could be a lot of exceptional items and other things like that. As of now, I am ignoring all that, just to keep it simple. So the net profit has more than doubled from 17 to 36. So that's a year-on-year growth. Year-on-year growth, year 2014, year 2015. Okay? So I'm going to introduce two new letters today. 2Y. So I got 2B के जैसे 2Y, 2 years. Continuous, and there should be decent growth. 2Y. ठीक है? Then we move on to the quarterly results. In the quarterly results, because I had got it on the 6th of July, I also had the result of the June quarter coming in. It had not come by then because the result would come on first week of August. It would be declared in the first week of August for the first quarter. So what did I have? I had the yearly result 2014 and 2015, and I also had the quarterly result of the March quarter 2014 and March quarter 2015. So here, as in 2B has a 2P, so a 2Y has a 2Q. Okay? The only thing is 2B and 2P cannot be together. हो ही नहीं सकता. But this has to be together. 2Y and 2Q has to be together. If this happens, how? 14th of March, the profit was 7.74 crores. For the comparable quarter, 15th of March, it was 12.7 crores. So year on year, there is a growth, huge growth, and quarter on quarter, yearly quarter on quarter, there is a huge growth. So that is a perfect case of a 2Y and a 2Q. तो year on year grow हो रहा है और quarter on quarter grow हो रहा है, ठीक है? अब बेसिक फंडामेंटल इतना क्लियर हुआ, इसमें हम टेक्निकल एनालिसिस का बेसिक अजम्पशन लगाते हैं. बेसिक अजम्पशन क्या है टेक्निकल एनालिसिस का? A stock is would keep going up till there is a evidence that it is reversed. यही है, उसको मैंने यहाँ पे लगाया. Year on year the profits are up, quarter on quarter the profits are up. There is a high likelihood of the next quarter also being. There is a high likelihood that the next quarter would also be showing decent profit growth. High likelihood. No necessity here, no compulsoriness. ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि होगा ही, ऐसा नहीं. High likelihood. So again we come back to what we do in technical analysis. We play on probabilities. Same we are playing here with a 2Y and a 2Q. It has to be a combo of 2Y and 2Q. Year on year there has to be a decent growth, and quarter on quarter there has to be a decent growth. Okay? So I bought it on the 6th of July. I had an additional piece of data. Let us see. The company also discloses the monthly sales figures. The monthly sales figures April में तो पहले disclose हो गए थे. So it has grown from 876 to 911. May के भी disclose हो गए थे 1285 to 1405. और जून के from 1433 the number of vehicles sold had gone up to 1529, and this announcement came on the 2nd of July. So now you can very well estimate the next quarter. Very well. In all likelihood, पक्का ऐसे ही आएगा ऐसा कुछ जरूरी नहीं. हो सकता है ये सब होने के बाद भी कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाए, क्वार्टर रिजल्ट खराब हो जाए, हो सकता है. But then if there is a 2Y and a 2Q and an additional confirmation, so we are almost all set. Now, these are the three things that we looked at: the financial performance Y on Y, the quarterly performance Q on Q, and the third data point, company announcement on the 2nd of July. Therefore, I got it on the 6th of July. Now, if I go by the EPS of the company, EPS of 2015, that was 25 rupees. The stock was going at 1,200, almost 1,200, 1,100. Let us, for example, say 1,100. What would be the PE? Tell me. What would be the PE? 1,100 divided by 25. That would be 44. 44 is a pretty high PE. Pretty high PE. But how did I take that trade? It was because the stock was for a long time, it had a floor of 1,100. as we can go back and see. This is the weekly chart. I got it here. Just look at this. Support on a weekly chart. Support. This is where I got the confidence. 2Y, 2Q, despite the P being high, there's a lot of support for this stock. There's a lot of support for this stock because I am working on a weekly chart. Just look at that. Since I was buying it in July, for almost 6 months prior to it, it was taking a support at 1,000, 1,050. So now, there was a confluence of events. 2Y, 2Q, pretty reasonable estimation of the next quarter, and support by the technicals. Literally support by the technicals. So the mantra now is very simple. Look for a 2Y in combination with the 2Q and look for any additional technical parameter. It could be your indicator, it could be your oscillator, it could be simple price, it could be a trend line, it could be MACD, whatever you want. Something which gives you that additional edge.
So would you exit below 1100? Because you have taken support on technicals. Would you exit or not?
Because it's also floor price, you said.
The floor price as per
It
the
may happen, it
as
may
per
go
the-
below 1100. It may happen.
Now there are two parts with the way I look at it. Okay? If the stock belongs to a very well-known group, okay, it's a pedigree. For example, Axis Bank today, I would keep buying it. I would keep buying it. But for a stock like SML Isuzu, which is a very small auto company, okay, there has to be a hard stop loss. Because if it is going at a 42 P, for it to go down to 30 P and lose 1/4 of its value is very good. It's a really good stock. It can go down very quickly. 2 सर्किट नीचे और हो जाएगा. So it has to be followed by a stop because I am combining these two. I am combining the fundamentals with the technicals. And it is a company which does not qualify in my scheme of things. In my scheme of things. As I said, it is individualistic. In my scheme of things, it does not qualify to be as good as the top Nifty 50 companies.
This would have been Axis Bank, then you would have wait. Suppose this is the whole case of Axis Bank. You would have waited.
I'm still buying. Yeah.
Why 2Y and why 2Q? So if you see in this company, only 2014, the profit बहुत सारा down गया, बाकी it was in line. इसके और पीछे जाएंगे 36, 45.
It was in line in the sense that there was no growth. It was maintaining, what it was doing.
डबल दिख रहा है.
वो सारी चीज प्राइस में एडजस्ट हो रही है ना, जैसे जैसे वो चीज हो रही है ना, आपको नीचे मिल रहा है ना.
What he is saying is the system he follows. आप पीछे का देख रहे हो, उनका स्क्रीन सिस्टम सिंपल. ईयर ऑन ईयर जैसे ही ग्रोथ आएगा, सिस्टम डेटा देगा. आप क्या कर रहे हो, हिस्टोरिकल और पीछे जाकर उसको एनालाइज कर रहे हो. उनके स्क्रीन में तो आ जाएगा ना. 17 पिछले साल से 34 हुआ है तो उनके सिस्टम में आ जाएगा. और इन रेफरेंस पॉइंट इज ओनली टू दिस ईयर vis-a-vis last.
Yes.
But in case of SML issue, if your like fundamental conviction is very strong, then what? You still have a.
For me, yeah, for me to have a fundamental conviction to be very strong on a 40 plus PE company is difficult. It's difficult. When you try to identify value, in most of the cases you will get it at under 10 PE. आप 40 PE पे जब कर रहे हैं ना, 40 अब टीवी पे आपको पता है कि it's a short term trade, short term trade. Many of us would have heard of a pre-result move. What is the pre-result move? What is the pre-result move? Expectation of good result. Before the result comes, the stock goes up. That is exactly what has happened here. Just see what has happened. देखो ना. It's a fantastic confluence. You are getting it at its support. You have a Y on Y, you have a Q on Q, and you also have a monthly disclosure of the sales report. In each of the months, the sales have been more.
आगे का चार्ट भी दिखा दो.
It has come to almost the same level. Come back to almost 1100. And why? Probably it comes down. Because Q on Q stays, Y on Y stays, and why? Just under the trend line. Yes.
Could you also go to the December quarter and try to see how it has performed in past two Decembers and see, try to visualize how it is going to be?
See, as I said, there are hundreds of categories. Keep it simple. Today, I am introducing a 2Y and a 2Q. I can do it in as many number of ways I want to do it. I can go back in history, I can go back till 2000, I can just look at only the monthly figures, I can look at what is the price of each vehicle, what is the multiplication, I can see so many things there. But out of all that, when I introduced the topic, I told you there would be a lot of contrast. There would be a lot of contrast. But I need to find out some kind of logical way of doing it. So what I have done is to keep it simple, Y on Y and Q on Q. What are the precautions? I'll tell you. What are the precautions here? What are the precautions? Techno-funda combo will not work always. Please understand. Please understand it will not work always. If all of us have come here and we are sitting in an expectation that Himanshu is going to tell us some kind of a holy grail, I'm sorry, lunch would be ready in about 2 hours. There is no holy grail. Again, this strategy is not going to work in F&O. Because F&O is a short-term trade. You have the pressure of expiry, तब तक result आए नहीं आए कुछ हुआ और अब ऊपर नीचे हो जाएगा. So better buy it in cash and then hold. Now, since I was in July, so the latest quarter that was available to me was the March quarter. But let us see if I have to do it today. If I have to do it today, then I have to take the trailing 12-month yearly performance. That means from September 2014 to September 2015. Then I cannot take the financial year performance up till March for Y on Y. It has to be trailing 12 months. अब Y on Y, Q on Q, ये सब शुगर कंपनीज में अप्लाई करोगे तो बहुत गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. उनका कब क्रशिंग स्टार्ट होता है, बहुत साइक्लिकल है, तो वो ये सब उन कंपनीज पे अप्लाई नहीं होगा. हो भी सकता है, आपको रिस्क लेना है, हो भी सकता है. Now, the most important part here is the position size. Position size का क्या मतलब हुआ? For example, if I have 100 rupees to invest, I am making a portfolio. I am going to take the total amount of SML Suzu that I am going to buy in my portfolio would not be more than 5%. It's going to be only worth 5%. अगर इसको मैंने उल्टा कर दिया, यार 2Y है, 2Q है, मंथली अनाउंसमेंट्स है, अब तो आना ही आना है, तो मैंने 100% SML Suzu खरीद लिया. So please understand there are a lot of things that are coming together. There is risk management, there is a way to identify, there is a method to madness, and then we are reaching a conclusion. With all humbleness, we know that it might not work. And of course, the additional work that you have to do, an additional work that you have to do is this strategy requires you to keep yourself updated with the latest corporate results if you want to do that additional work. तभी आपको पता चलेगा why and why you want to. Yeah, almost December, yes. It has come down. It is at about 1100 today. Descending triangle भी है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं.
Sir, you said that you are going to buy again at 1100. Then are you operating on that particular stock with a fixed mindset?
There is no fixed mindset because I am updating my view based on the quarterly result. So if the quarterly result for the September quarter is better than the previous September,
then only it will come. Filter बाकी
हर बार filter चल रहा है. Why am I doing? Yes.
जैसे आपने बोला कि if it is a good company like Axis Bank, then even if the support breaks, you will still buy. Then why are we looking at support if we are? It doesn't matter then.
Because this is a very high PE company as of today. As I told you, just look at the thesis when I started. If I would have not combined, please understand.
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि जैसे अच्छी कंपनी है एक्सिस बैंक या कोई भी दूसरी अच्छी कंपनी है जिसको आप ग्रुप को मानते हो और अगर वो सपोर्ट ब्रेक कर देता है then why are we looking at support? मतलब अच्छी कंपनी है तो टेक्निकल doesn't matter, is it so?
हाँ, तो मैंने आपको बोला ना, आपको आलू और प्याज का कॉम्बिनेशन नहीं खाना है तो आलू आप सेपरेटली खाओ, आपको अच्छा लगे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. लेकिन अगर आप कंबाइन कर रहे हो तो जो प्रिंसिपल्स हैं वो फॉलो करने पड़ेंगे, दोनों के प्रिंसिपल्स फॉलो करने पड़ेंगे. So today when I am saying I would keep on buying Axis banks, that is purely fundamental view. There is no technical view नीचे है ना, कोई रिवर्सल ही नहीं है अभी तक. क्या रिवर्सल है? कोई रिवर्सल है?
is running two investment portfolios. One is called Techno Funda, which is presenting as a test case. So ECU was part of that as a test case. जहाँ तक एक्सिस बैंक का सवाल है, आप एक्सिस बैंक को गिरा के ले आइए 25-50 रुपए तक, तो वो अपना सब कुछ घर बार भी लगा दे. So he has that confidence. और वो अलग पोर्टफोलियो. अभी वो जो दे रहे हैं आपको, this is a case study is giving. This is another way. He is not only purely into fundamental. Fundamental का एक उनका portfolio which is rocking. I know what quality stocks he puts. This is a presentation he is doing कि he also does this. मतलब उन्होंने इसको खरीदा है, उसके पैरामीटर्स थे, ये सिस्टम है जो बता रहे हैं. सिस्टम होगा ना तो आपके जानते हो कि उससे स्टॉप लॉस लगेगा. You can't have a system without a stop loss. And otherwise we all won't be standing here. सब रवाना हो गए होते हैं.
एक और बात है, फंडामेंटल में when he is choosing a company, suppose I call this example Axis Bank, he is trying to buy the business. If a business with conviction strong है, I don't mind investing any money into it. Any businessman won't hesitate investing any money into it. If conviction strong.
सपोर्ट ब्रेक करता है.
सपोर्ट ब्रेक करता है इस कंपनी में बहुत क्लियर है, कॉम्बिनेशन से लिया है, अकेला फंडामेंटल व्यू तो नहीं है इसमें. स्टॉप लॉस कटेगा तो जाएगा. कितना स्टॉप लॉस आएगा? मेरा स्टॉप लॉस इसमें 50 रुपए के आसपास. मेरी पोजीशन साइज बहुत कम है, टोटल पोर्टफोलियो का 5% है मेरा. आराम से मिल जाएगा.
फंडामेंटल सर बोले स्टॉक इज गोइंग बिलो 1100. would you exit or not?
I will exit if it is as per TFC. देखिए दो अप्रोच है, one is pure fundamental and one is TFC. If I am buying, because I am presenting this on the basis of TFC, if I am buying on TFC basis, stop loss has to be there. भी अगर मैंने सपोर्ट देखा है 1100 का, तो अगर वो ब्रेक हो जाएगा तो मेरे को एक्ट करना पड़ेगा ना. फिर मैं नाम नहीं बदल सकता कि मैं TFC से फंडामेंटल बैठ हूँ. नहीं कुछ भी हो. If TFC फॉलो कर रहा हूँ तो TFC फॉलो कर.
This is a mechanism that he is projecting. This is not pure buy and hold. He has a portfolio pure buy and hold. I know the kind of wealth. Why do I keep talking good about him? Because I know he's a very wealthy guy. इसलिए मैं अच्छी बातें करता हूँ. मेरे को मालूम है उनके पास क्या स्टॉक. लेकिन वो केस प्रेजेंट नहीं कर रहे. Maybe another session, next conference we have, wherein he presents Ajanta Pharma. He's holding this guy. Why do I talk good about him? He's still holding it here. 50 times बना के बैठे हैं. हमको तो मिलते नहीं ऐसे स्टॉक. So today is presenting a test case which is TFC. तो TFC का जो रूल है वो फॉलो करना पड़ेगा. TFC को मेरी मर्जी स्टाइल में थोड़ी कर सकते हैं. नहीं कर सकते.
इसका मैं एक और बता देता हूँ. TFC में अगर कोड टूटा, he is about have strong conviction of a company. He is using an technical also. So he will look for another stock for the same stock. He may buy the same stock. He may invest the same money into that stock but at lower prices. Maybe double his averaging investment.
PE 40 plus है तो निकलना ही है ना प्रॉपर. तो 30 होने को टाइम नहीं लगेगा.
तो स्टॉप लॉस जो है टेक्निकल का है. स्टॉक है वो करना पड़ेगा.
Sir, please understand, this is a screening system. This is a screening system. 2Y and 2Q is a way to screen and filter it so that you get companies which are earning more and more. And the price has to reflect that. So that is a screening system. But when to buy, what is the stop loss? That is as per the technicals. That is why it is combined. Fundamentals में तो मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला. Fundamentals में stop loss नाम की चीज नहीं होती है. Averaging करते हैं fundamentals. मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला. But because this is TFC, there has to be a stop loss. As simple as that. So these are the precautions.
Sir,
I guess we have all. Yeah.
ऐसा भी सकता है ना, मान लो टेक्निकल्स पे वो अच्छा ट्रेंडिंग स्टॉक हो एंड फंडामेंटल्स आर नॉट गुड.
तो मेरे फिल्टर में आएगा ही. फंडामेंटल्स अच्छा नहीं होगा. बाय ऑन बाय क्यू ऑन क्यू होगा ही नहीं.
ऐसा भी स्टॉक 3-4 गुना हो जाता है.
हो सकता है पर मेरे फिल्टर में नहीं आएगा ना. बाय ऑन बाय और क्यू ऑन क्यू में आएगा ही नहीं जो फंडामेंटली इस तरीके से नहीं चलेगा. Okay, so this is my last slide. Okay, and just for since as we all know, it's not about it's not about serious work always. So just a little bit of fun. This is just going to be a little bit of fun, and this is how I'm going to say all the best to you.
Thank you, Himanshu. Wonderful presentation.